Oh shit! What the fuck?
Good morning. Hey, we're live. We're live.
Oh, are you sure we're live?
I don't know, but
Some of it's live, some of it's Memorex.
we are working through it. So good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you
It is Saturday.
at the shop.
This is Saturday at the shop. Good morning, Tales from the Lounge. Good morning, Cigars and Guns, Facebook and Instagram, and our faithful. If you can do us a favor right now, if you can hop on, talking to you, Casey Hogan, share this live link, will you?
Kayla, where are you?
That's
come
it.
on.
Hey, good morning. This week, today, we're going to run over how much we continue to not like pops.
Right.
First Cuba trip.
Right.
We have
It
some
sucks.
gun safety tips. We have some events coming up. Cigars 101 that we learned a ton about. Thanks to Casey Hogan this week. And we've got some new products to talk through.
Yes, we do.
So, good morning. How was your week? How was your week?
It was fast and furious. Made worse by the fact that you were gone,
I was gone.
Dave was gone,
Dave is gone.
and
Yeah, Nathan's just
Nathan was
naturally
stressed out.
Just
I mean,
naturally worthless.
I-
Is he still here?
yeah, he's still here.
Okay. Yeah, hey, this is great. So Pops is in Cuba. He went to the Habanos Festival with Nelson, Oliver, Nelson Jr., and anyone that's following us on our Facebook has been able to track his trip to paradise.
Yes, yes. And his wired streaming.
If you would go anywhere for a cigar trip, where would you go? Would you go Cuba? Would you go to Nicaragua, Dominican? Where would you go?
I think I'd go to Nicaragua.
Nicaragua?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nicaragua seems to be like the purest, the less vacation-y place.
Yeah.
It's the most tobacco
Let's
driven.
not do the touristy thing. Let's go do some research and have some fun.
Let's get into the fields.
That's it.
So yeah, I just want to say thank you from my perspective. Thank you to Placencia and especially the Hogans for putting up with me this week. And we went down there and had a blast. Got to get in the fields, got to see the differences between the different regions of Nicaragua and what that tobacco should be like, which ties into our 101, but just absolutely great. And Pops, I'm sure you're watching, so good morning to you from Cuba, and looking forward to having you back and do this with you, although Ron kills it. Ron kills it.
Oh, please, please, please. Though I am better looking.
You got that right. You got that right. So, quick question for you about gun safety.
Okay.
How do you check if a gun is loaded?
I usually stick my nostril in it, in the barrel,
He doesn't-
and give it a good sniff. Yeah, it's loaded.
You can smell for it. I usually just look down the barrel,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
check it out. All of these things are coming up because go ahead, if you're on Cigars and Guns, check out Adrian's stream and take a look at the Cigars and Guns photo that we snapped this week of the brilliant special ops forces they've got running. The
Those are crack shot
the
guys. aren't they?
security. Hey, good morning. Coming from Germany. Germany. Thank you for coming in. Good morning. Good morning from us. Good evening to you. We do appreciate it. And yeah, so check out that photo. It's
I don't
brilliant.
know why that happened.
We'll be all right. So,
Get your face in there, Adrian.
No.
what also we have is we've got some events coming up that
Yes.
are big. Event season is starting. We took a little hiatus, and now we're getting back at it. What's the next one that's coming up? Big events.
Big event, the house party.
The house party.
I cannot wait.
March 16th. That is a Saturday night. That's in a few weeks. And, look at these things. The house stick is in.
The house stick is in, and it is phenomenal.
And it's not for sale. So,
Yeah.
sorry. But we do have this. Good morning, Blake. We do have house sticks in the house, aging. These things, they need a little bit.
They do
They need
need
a
a
few
bit.
weeks, but by the time that comes around, it is just going to be brilliant. That is March 16th.
And you know, the not only is it a great stick, I'm sitting here looking at the band for the finished band for the first time, and I love the coloring on it and the design. It's just it's awesome.
It's undeniably our cigar.
It absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you take our other cigar, this 1880 Lancero shop
Yeah.
exclusive, and you hand it to somebody, and oh, that's a badass cigar. But this, you hand it to them, and they go,
Boy, y'all are some vain suckers, aren't you?
yeah. You got that right. Vain we are. But it's great. This cigar it's smooth. It's pretty mild cigar.
Oh yeah.
But the retro hail, for those of
It's
you,
got a good retro hail.
Yeah,
I was doing that earlier, and I was really surprised at how smooth it was.
For anyone watching, I mean, I would imagine everyone who's watching is going to understand what a retro hail is. But just for those of you that don't know, instead of taking a full draw and just puffing it straight back out, a great way to get the flavor is by smoking it. Take about a half a draw and then just take it out through your nose, because you get the flavors through the retro hail, through your olfactory senses. So,
and some of them will be rough. I mean, some have got a really harsh retro hail on them.
Right,
So
and
gotta be
this,
careful.
I'm glad there's a little bit of pepper because the flavor's light, it's delicate,
Yep.
but then you still get this.
And you were
this
talking about
retro hail.
cinnamon in it earlier. Were you
I
not?
was tasting hot tamales, but
Oh, hot tamales. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
but that's about it. Who is that up there? That's Sean. Yeah, hey, good morning to you, Sean. What else we got? What's after that? March is gonna be a good month.
We've got a hand roll with Edgar Hoya.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Yeah,
Damn it.
but pretty correct. Hand rolled March 30th.
With who?
Pete Johnson.
Oh God, yes,
Pete Johnson in the house.
yes.
That's
And I said hand rolled. I'm thinking hand rolled, but we're gonna be watching the movie Hand Rolled with Pete Johnson.
the movie Hand Roll with Pete Johnson is going to be extremely badass because it's gonna be 50 people in here
Yep.
and Pete Johnson. It will be the only showing of Hand Rolled in the history that Pete Johnson is actually at.
Right. He didn't even show up for the premiere.
No, not even the premiere in Vegas at the show. He said, "Piss off! I'm going to get sushi." But here,
That must be some good sushi.
yeah, we should bring in sushi. That's
I know of a woman who can make that happen.
yeah.
That's your cue bags.
So that is March 30th. March is going to be great. You can check these up. The tickets will go on sale this week for our members, and for the remaining seats, the general public will also be at the end of this coming week. So make sure you hop on that. It will be a ticketed event. It won't be a cheap event, but you will see cigars that do not exist in the rest of the world. That will be Pete Johnson Select Cabinet in here. It'll be awesome. Crux has a. How do we say this?
Are you?
No.
No.
We have a Crux event on April 12th.
Yes.
That will, let's just say, it's going to change the way you look at Crux.
That product completely.
Yeah, completely.
Absolutely.
There's a ton of stuff. You're exactly right. It's going to be a great month. And then as we roll in, Crux, April 12th. And then Cigars and Guns. This one's a little bit for you, but it's selfishly a little bit for us. July 4th, God Bless America. We are doing a Brown Ales Cigars and Guns round 3 block party here.
Yes, and the benefit of coming and showing up is not only that you attend the Cigars and Guns, but right behind us there will be a fireworks show, July 4th.
July the 4th, absolutely.
Right behind us is the Toyota Sports Complex. They will be doing a fireworks show out there right in our backyard.
And I don't know if you went to the last one. I know you were at the last one.
I was.
But I think there were something like 400 people here.
Oh yeah.
We're a small lounge, and 400 gun-toting, freedom-breathing Americans. This place was safe.
It will be safe.
It will be safe, and it will be fun. We have a lot of people that are showing up. Good gun industry guys.
Yep.
We'll have guys that are instructors, current SWAT team. We'll bring in some celebrities, doing our best to get some pull there. Wink, wink, Brownells, help us out. But the last one we had Tegan from 13 Hours from the Benghazi. We had some celebrities in here pulling some weight. July the 4th, make sure to do it. God Bless America for us. And so, let me take a pivot here.
All right.
So you were at the Cigars 101 this week.
Yes.
Geography and regions.
Yes.
What was your main takeaway?
My main takeaway: you need to give Nathan more passwords. No, in all seriousness, it was really enjoyable to see actual maps of the countries and seeing the regions color coded on where stuff is done and who's doing what, and seeing where in the countries, because you say Nicaragua and you just think Nicaragua, but it's more than just that. Same thing with Cuba. You actually see the map of Cuba and you see the regions, different regions for each of the tobacco production.
Right. Yeah. So, and what we found out is, there are very few places. There's the whole globe. There are spots in there that there are tobaccos from, and everyone kind of thinks theirs is the best.
Well, even in the United States, that was another pretty enlightening thing, seeing how much of the eastern U.S. produces tobacco for cigars.
And you know what I found out this week is how many of those farms, and it kind of shows the importance of having high quality tobacco and knowing what you're doing. Some of the farmers are moving now to farming hemp. And a big challenge right now for a lot of cigar manufacturers is finding high quality Pennsylvania or Connecticut broadleaf that is actually grown in the United States, because a lot of these guys are going to hemp, going to create CBD, and to each their own, and everyone has a business to run. But
so if anybody's got some acreage, looking for something to grow, there goes your ready market.
That's it. Are you talking about hemp, or are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about tobacco.
Tobacco, yeah,
yes.
Tobacco. I'm talking about you, all Nebraska
Cigars.
farmers.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so it was cool. But I would say what's so interesting is you have eight, we'll call them 8 major regions and countries that produce tobacco.
Yep.
What would you say is the best region for tobacco? Anyone who's watching, what do you think the best tobacco comes from?
Well, I'm awful fond of that wrapper for the 1880s.
Which is?
Mexico.
Mexican San Andreas.
Yep.
Mexican San Andreas is really, really nice.
Yes, it is.
What's Adrian? What's your favorite?
I mean, you got to start with Cuba, but there's so many craft boutique cigars from Nicaragua that rival some of the Cuban cigars.
Yes.
Yeah, and I suppose that's a good thing about, Adrian said Cuba, and that is a history. That's where all the premium stuff came from. But, thanks to communism, good things happen. Everybody knows that. And they all went, so many people went to the Dominican, so many people went to Nicaragua and brought that. I would have to say I am heavily biased, but I think Nicaragua's got some stuff that's happening right now that's standing up to anything.
Well, I mean, there's very few that don't use some kind of Nicaraguan tobacco at some point.
We're using Nicaraguan in this.
Yes, we are.
But what's really interesting is the most important element to the flavor and to the whole process, other than just the small techniques of the farmers, as we saw through the Cigars 101, Geography and Regions, it's all soil type.
Yes.
It's soil type and climate.
Yep.
So as you get closer to these really densely, nutrient-dense areas that have a lot of volcanic soil, you get a lot of flavor. So
a lot of pH.
A lot of pH. So when you're getting into it, the more sun you have, the more flavor you have through the soil and nutrient. That's why Esteli tobacco is it's got some balls to it.
Yeah.
That's if you're smoking aroma craft. Oftentimes I use that Nicaraguan Ligero. That's got the balls. So the clay is it's black there. But as you get north, you get up to what's called Jalapa Valley to the north side. It becomes a little bit more sandy. So that passes through, not quite as nutrient dense, so you get that sweetness. If you've ever smoked, if you work with anything crux, you get a lot of Jalapa, Condega. They've got a good mix, and you get these regions that are sweet, but they've got flavor to them, but they're still easy to smoke.
Yep.
So that's our bit of nerdy cigar stuff. Just put right there.
Well, let me pivot a little bit. I'm envious of you and Dave both, by the way. Both of y'all were out of country. You were in Nicaragua. He was in Cuba. You suck, Dave. And he was hanging out with all kinds of fun people out there. Seeing the videos and pictures of him and Oliver together, it was just phenomenal. I know he was having a great time, and he did I thought he was drunk streaming, but then I remembered he doesn't drink. But then he mentioned he had 8 or 9 cups of coffee, So
Cuban coffee.
Cuban coffee. So he was wired, and you could tell because his hair was all over his head. And he was going, "Oh my God!" It was already Saturday for him because he had already fast forwarded 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, you got that right. No, I'm glad, and thank you so much to Oliver, to Nelson, Alfonso for taking in pops. For us, being a family-owned business, again, that's who we are, that's who we breathe. That's what we try to create is that family bit. It's so cool to work with retailers that make you feel like you're in the family.
Yeah.
And the retailers, when you walk in the shop, when you walk in here, the ones that are there, the ones that really believe in their product are the ones that make it easy for us to believe in it.
Yep.
Atabey is one of those with the Nelsons, and they got to take him and go down there and have fun. Hogan's are another one of those.
Yep.
And as you work through it, you just see, God, this is such a cool industry to be a part of.
It is. I can't wait to get into it myself.
Speaking of, if you don't follow Tales from the Lounge, please do that. That's his newest venture.
Yes.
What's Tales from the Lounge?
Tales from the Lounge, and since everybody is doing cigar reviews, I thought I would do something a little different and do reviews of cigar lounges. Go in, talk to the managers, to owners, talk to the patrons, find out what cigars mean to them, what cigar culture means to them, find out what makes or breaks a cigar lounge. And so don't be surprised you see me showing up in your local lounge at some point and sitting down and having a stick with the people there, just chatting, doing some video. I think it's going to be a great thing.
I think so too, and what I really appreciate about it is most blogs now hop into reviews. They hop into stuff that's just so similar.
Well, and it's also so objective, you know, because as you know, what you like and what I like maybe entirely two different things. I review a stick and say it sucks. I'm one out of 300,000 who doesn't care for the stick, and so my review doesn't mean squat, you know.
Right.
So instead of doing something that's objective, let's talk about something that we can all agree on and decide and explore.
And what I like about that too is you're one of us. You know, you're a normal guy that you read some reviews and it says they taste, you know, ciabatta bread with lemon slices and hints of Tic Tac, but it's when you are a guy that just enjoys what happens, enjoys the experience and the culture. So I'm looking forward to reading and watching these videos and seeing how does a normal person perceive what the cigars are like.
And part of the reason why I decided I wasn't going to do reviews is I'm pretty easy to please. I don't take things too critically, and if you're going to do a review on a product like that, you really need to be a lot more critical than I would try to be. And my palate's probably not as refined as others, and so and everybody else is doing it. You know, let's do something different.
Yep. So if you don't follow it now, please do. It's great, Sean. If I don't know if you know Ron or not, but as you can tell, just a man of great character, and I think it's going to be a good passion project.
Hey, I got a reputation. I'll hold that down a little bit, man.
That's it. Hey, let's talk about a few new products that are back in
Yes.
and in the humidor itself.
Okay.
You know a lot about that one. Talk about that one.
We've got the 1880 Lanceros back in. I'm not sure how many we've got, but there's probably not many.
There's not many.
If you don't pick them up quickly, they will be gone. When are these going to be ready for sale?
They're for sale now.
They're
You
for
can buy
sale now.
singles now.
Buy singles now.
They need a little bit of. It'd be good for another few days. Let them sit for a few days, but honestly, they're ready to smoke.
They're good. They're good.
They're really good. And then back in, we have the OG Herrera Esteli. This is Willie's first run when he was with Drew Estate. I forgot how good this cigar was.
That is a great cigar.
It's so unique. Somebody asked me to describe it, and I just said I don't know what to compare it to. It's a very, very nice cigar, simple, right in that $10 range, but this thing is the real deal. And that teal label, Brazilian Maduro, you smoked that?
Yes.
Shit, that's a good cigar.
Drew Estate makes a solid stick.
Yep, that's a company to me. It's like Drew Estate is very similar to kind of that Sam Adams model.
Yeah.
They started small, now they're just everywhere. But you know what? They treat their people right.
Yeah. I know that's important to you guys. That, and that was In fact, and if I'm not giving away a trade secret, that's one of the things that y'all look at when you start looking at new products to bring in is how do they treat their people and what kind of relationship can you have with them. If they treat their people like crap,
They treat their product like crap.
yeah.
They don't care. And that's one thing I learned about Plasencia this week when I was there. Plasencia factory in Esteli, it's cool because they were the first ones to have a school on it's literally, 10 feet away from the door of the factory. They have a school, they have medical facilities, they have a church, they have all of these things that when their rollers are there, their whole family's taken care of. And they were the pioneers. They were the first ones to do it, and they do it better than anyone else from what I understand. And when you see that, you see people in there. When you go to certain factories, everyone's looking down, and they're just rolling away, and they don't communicate, they don't do anything. They're just there to roll, and they're kind of snapping the whip. But in Plasencia, they're getting everything, they're getting things done, but they're also having a good time. You see a lot of smiles in the rolling room. It's air controlled, there's music going, there's a vibe, it's got this feeling to it. And that's made me fall deeper in love with Crux Cigars and potentially the new Regis that we're looking at bringing in, Plasencia. They do it right. They do it right. You know anything about that?
Nasty Pistas. I don't have no clue.
Nasty Fritas. So this is what's really cool for those of you that may know the Liga Privada. Speaking of Drew Estate, Liga Privada, they do the 9s, T52, a whole bunch of them, but they use this really, really cool stock cut wrapper, meaning oily, ton of flavor, Nicaraguan, full out Nicaraguan. And when they get done rolling these very premium cigars, they take the extra small amount, they put it into, we'll call it a medium filler cigar, which is Papas Fritas, those little tiny ones. And this is just another spin off of that. It's a Nasty Fritas, very inexpensive cigar, and it's a cool little take on it.
What's the smoke time on that?
Smoke time, oh boy, that's a subjective question.
30,
But yeah,
45
probably 30 minutes, 30 minutes or less. But you
So
can
if
get
you
in and
want
smoke
a
it.
quick smoke with a cup of coffee before you head to work, probably not a bad idea.
That's it. Make sure you got some in your stomach. This is Esteli Nicaragua tobacco. This stuff will wake you up. So maybe sub out, do a little sandwich and no coffee and run this thing. But it's a cool little shape. It's this little, I don't know if you call it a trumpet technically, but it's a cool little cigar. And then, of course, we have the house, which is ours. It's a pyramid shaped, 6-inch pyramid. It's a really unique, fun shape to smoke. And it uses Nicaraguan wrapper, which is going to give you flavor. It's going to give you a little bit of life to it. Use a Cuba binder.
And the funny thing is, a discarded Davidoff mold.
That's a good, yeah. This is a mold that has never been used in normal production because Davidoff got it in. It was off by 1 millimeter. They said, send it back. They didn't send it back. They kept it in the factory. They used it for us. So it's what Davidoff wished they would have used.
That's right.
And then it uses Dominican. So we're bringing a lot of different worlds together, putting it into this, and I'm very happy with it. Very happy smoking it now. This is going to be about a $10 cigar to non-members, about 8 and some change for members. For those of you that have smoked an Aviator by Principal Cigars, this will be familiar to you, although unique. And then, what is this thing?
The Trident.
The Trident. Thank you.
It is the trilogy.
This trilogy,
It is the shank.
This little prison shank is the most valuable thing. I think this will be our best-selling accessory ever. It is.
Well, I would have said the perfect draw would have been it, but I like that much better.
This is cool. It is really cool. You use this little shank to, actually it's got serrated edges. You put it in. You know what? I'm just smoking 1880. So you put it in here, and then you kind of work it back and forth. This is going to create a really, really small set of like air hockey table holes.
Yeah.
Makes for a cool draw. Anyone that smoked it, I haven't had anyone that hasn't liked it.
Oh no, definitely not. And
yeah.
the unique thing is, it'll allow you to create different jets that hit your mouth in different areas, which is something that a lot of the cuts won't do. You either hit the top of your mouth or the side or whatever. This one will actually do individual jets that come out in different areas of your mouth. And these are really cool. They come with a little keychain.
And you get a real leather case.
And you get a leather case. But I actually keep mine on my keychain. You know,
Are you a janitor?
I am.
Yeah, these things are great. About 35, but really, there have been a few things.
We sold through the first batch in what, 2 days, 3 days, something like that.
It sold fast enough that, but yeah, minutes. But to the point where I actually bought one for myself.
And then had to give it back.
And then gave it to Lee, who bought it for me. Now I've been sitting waiting without one of these things. I thought it was a little gimmicky until I tried it.
Yep.
And I think everyone who has tried it has concluded.
And who produces that?
This is Brizard & Co. They're out of Malibu.
Yep. Check their website out, and they've got a lot of products. They've got a lot of cool products.
A lot of cool accessories. So, just to kind of give you an idea, Pops gets back this week. Gun safety, make sure to look down the barrel or smell it. If you want to go by Nicaraguan rules, don't do that. Don't do that. Actually, please don't do that. Events, the house party coming up in a few weeks. We have hand rolled, which tickets will be going on sale this week. Crux is coming in, Brownells, 4th of July, and we have some in between there.
You left one out.
I know.
Smoking Riots, don't forget about Smoking Riots coming up in March.
That's March 9th. March 9th, I believe.
Yep.
We've got Smoking Rides. We have Smoking Rides coming in. It's actually Cars and Cigars Frisco.
Yes.
There's a new Instagram. Go follow it. Good morning to you, Kayla, on this one. I saw you on the other one. So, Cars and Cigars coming up. What am I missing?
The next Cigar 101.
Next Cigar 101 coming up next week. Cigars and chocolate.
Not next week, is it?
Next month.
Next month.
Yeah.
Next month.
Cigars and chocolate.
Cigars and chocolate.
So we're going to bring a chocolatier in here and do a real deal pairing with that, and we'll actually talk through the article of pairing that. That's going to be great. There's so many events that are up now that
Y'all are too busy.
this is going to be fun.
You make it hard for me to make everything.
I know. Me too. And then Cigars 101, if you're curious about learning about the regions, about really what makes tobacco different in different areas, that's up on our website. Check it out, monthly happenings. It's right up there, really easy to navigate, and that PowerPoint is actually ready for upload.
All of those guys who made that class, remember I told you I'd make sure that you got a copy of it? I bugged him enough, he finally posted it on.
That's it. That's the key to getting anything done around here. Just bug me until it's done. March is going to be great.
And one more, and I'm only going to do this because, you know, I know you hate Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Do not forget Parsons Cigars. Andrew's out on the course now with who knows who, playing golf. You show up at Plantation Golf Course here in Frisco. Give Andrew $20. He gives you a cigar. You talk about the cigar for a little bit, and then he gives you an hour-long golf lesson.
Which is about $150
Value.
hour, value. $20 you show up, and then you get to have some fun, and you get really solid. He's got the Crux Epicures out there right now. If we didn't have him here, I would literally leave work to go there to go get one. But we've got him here. So
Right.
Piss off, Andrew. That's every Saturday.
Now, something I want to bring up. You're out of your comfort zone today. You know that, right?
Yes. No.
What are you smoking?
I know.
You're always the Crux Epicure.
I know.
Today, it's the house stick.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll smoke my Epicure next. I just wanted a
figured
fresh
you would.
palate. Yeah, the Epicure's coming out. Yeah, you got to give it a shot, John. It's a hell of a lot of time, a hell of a lot of fun. And we've got new stuff in. So, again, we appreciate you. We appreciate you taking your time on a Saturday morning to come hang out
Absolutely.
with Ronnie. I appreciate you being here and being a part of it. Cigars and Guns, we love you. As always, Tales from the Lounge, you already know.
Take care, guys.
Have a good week.
Looks like mine quit again. But I didn't notice.